And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. And thank you, as always, for joining us on the Joe Boo Sports Report. Guys, I got to tell you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is amazing because of your guys' support. Joseph, thank you very much. This is an impromptu um, live stream tonight, but I figured it was important to get out there because, Lord knows, it's a surprising day. To say the least, it's surprising. And I'm going to let some of you guys get in here and so we can get going on here. And I'm trying to see where my stream is on Vimeo. Cowboys fan 21. We got Real Dallas Cowboy fan in the house. We got Brian. Brian, man, you're killing. Man, dude, I feel like Tyrone Crawford, buddy. Come on, just take a little of the not all of it. Just take a little of the weight off for me, okay? Come on, man. I'm not quite that fat, am I? Thomas Chavez is back. Oh my God, that's a blast from the past. Let's see who else we got in here. We got Chaz Jewell, J.R. Muth, Rob X, Joseph Sandberg. Thank you guys for being here. You know, before I get into talking about the Cowboys, while I let some more people come on here, I forgot to do as I say for myself. I always remember, oh boy, tonight's working out much better. Hopefully the sound is good, guys. I always remember back whenever I've had really, really bad times in my life that good times have followed. In fact, when you're in the middle of going through bad things in life, you don't realize that it's actually going to become a good thing. It's going to challenge you. It's going to make you appreciate when you have good things. Eating good. How's the sound, guys? And everybody who is watching on Vimeo, guys, I've got the chat up and running, so let me say hello to you guys. So we're actually able to do something different. Because we ended up losing that time with YouTube, it forced me to go ahead and say, oh my God, what can I do? I've got all of these fans out here that I need to communicate with, not just because I like being on camera, but because you guys are literally family. So I thought, I got mad, I got upset, I got angry, but I kept working. And it was a lot of you guys that ended up coming back and giving me words of encouragement. Every time I got to the point of just saying, you know what, I give up. Somebody would come through with something
Description.
that would be just like, Mark, wake up. You're okay.
Description box.
Going yesterday and seeing Leon in the hospital. Leon, shout out to you, man, because Leon, you are a diehard fan. Leon is forever sending me links. Hey, man, you didn't miss it. You know, I want to make sure you didn't miss this. Mark over in England. Hey, buddy. You know, he called me earlier this evening. Man, I love the new platform and stuff. So, with what we're able to do, and I've got to thank everybody who donated to the GoFundMe, everybody who signed up for the Patreon account. The reason we are here and actually doing this stuff is because of your guys' support. And that's the honest to God truth. Because right now, oh God, I'm excited. I am truly excited because I'm finally being able to use this Mevo camera more to its fullest. This camera, and I'm still got a lot to learn. I still have to learn the video platform here as well. But once we learn it, guys, it's going to be incredible. The things that we're going to be able to do, you see Joe Boo over there. We can look up in here with some of the great stuff that some of you fans have, you know, given to me over the years and things. You can see, I mean, look, you can read my shirt and stuff on there. I mean, the clarity and everything else is really good. So, you don't want to care about all that stuff anyway. So, let's get on to what's happened with the Dallas Cowboys. Are you guys in a state of shock that Dan Bailey is cut?
Surprise.
Dan Bailey. Well, at first I was like, what the hell? How you doing, Raymond? Paul, Cowboys legend, Steamin' Willie Beam. We know he's gonna find me. I believe he's hiding out in the bushes over here. Christopher Randolph. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Because you guys, I've got or used to have 26,000 family members. But everybody who's joined in, thank you so much. Because we're going to take this to a whole nother level. But then I started thinking about the Dan Bailey situation. Because Dan Bailey had started actually missing a couple of kicks before he hurt his groin. And then when he came back, he was still kind of missing a bit there. And then in training camp, the first couple of weeks, he was missing a few in practice. And here's the thing. Dan Bailey was getting paid Dan Bailey money. I believe about $3.5 million. And if you're not sure that he's going to be Mr. Automatic, if you think he might miss a few, then you start looking at a rookie and say, well, he's about $3 million less. So maybe you say, you know what? That's $3 million we have in the kitty. That's $3 million that if we don't spend right now, we can roll over to next season when we got to pay, Dak and Zeke and DeMarcus Lawrence. Because, oh my God, Khalil Mack, $141 million. So you got to be thinking, if you're the Cowboys, if DeMarcus Lawrence has a great year, after Aaron Donald being the richest defensive player paid before for a couple hours, and now you got Khalil Mack, who was injured last year and had a bad year, gets 141. This thing is insane. Because he got a $60 million signing. When he signed his name today, he got $60 million. $60 million signing bonus with $90 million guaranteed. Jobu, buddy. Not that one. Yeah, get you the good stuff. Buddy, you need a refill on that one. Good Lord. $90 million guaranteed contract. We're talking about, that's quarterback money. That's like Matty Ice. Maybe even better than Matty Ice. What's happening, Cam? Oh, Cam, the moderator's here. Cam, block them trolls for me. Yeah. So if you're Dallas Cowboys, you might have messed up. You might have messed up not signing DeMarcus Lawrence this year. Because now, if he plays lights out, if he gets 15 or 16 sacks, you're going to need that Dan Bailey money. You're going to need that Tyrone Crawford money. You're going to need a whole lot of people's money. A lot. I mean, good Lord. I'm still in shock. But here's what amazes me, though. John Gruden. He's looking at the Raiders, I guess, rebuilding. Because this is the thing I said yesterday when we did our live stream. John Gruden. JB, how you doing tonight? Alex T. Fiham Gori. A lot of people I haven't seen before. Christopher Randolph. Northeast Corridor. Shout out to all you guys. Albert. Do you see what they gave up to make that trade? So they gave Khalil Mack. In return, they get a first round in 19, a third round in 20, and a sixth in the 19th. They also gave up with Khalil Mack a second and a fifth to say goodbye to him. I mean, you're getting a first, so you're moving from second to the first. Okay, that's pretty good. The fifth is better than the sixth, but that's a lot. That's not a great deal for the Raiders. That's not a good. You know what? I wish John Gruden was in Seattle doing the deal for Earl Thomas. Because I got to be honest, that's highway robbery. But Dan Bailey, wow, that was a shock. Jacob Garrett, thank you for joining in on the live chat. I finally figured out, I'm an old dog learning new tricks here. Um, so I actually have two chats going on here at the same time. So we got Jacob Garrett over here at Vimeo. Are you related to Jason Garrett, Jacob? And then I've got the chat going over here with Deion Sanders, Alan Kirk, Raymond, 614 Cowboys Nation, D. Cooper, Dallas Cowboys Review, man, Boomer Sooner. I mean, we got all kinds of people in the house. Thank everybody for the support. So this is new because now I got an eye over here and an eye over here as well as one over here. So I need a couple more eyes here. So Dan Bailey's gone, and after stepping back and thinking about it for a minute or two, it does make some sense. It really actually does. But see, Brian, here's the problem, though. He hadn't been at Mr. Automatic. He actually had a bad week this past week in practice that he missed a couple of them. The sound's breaking up? Uh-oh, don't tell me that. It may be because I'm talking a little bit too loud. Let me know if it doesn't anymore, because what will happen is if you peak too high, it'll crackle. So let me know if it's okay now. I get excited sometimes. But Dan Bailey has missed quite a bit. Sound is still breaking up. Seattle isn't letting him go. Okay, hold on here. Let me check here. Double check here. And hopefully, did that take care of it? Okay, hopefully that took care of it. Let me know. I may have to restart the stream. But he missed a lot this season in practice. Okay, I think he missed somewhere around 8 or 9 kicks, and we're still talking about practice. And when he came back from the groin injury last year, it just was not there the way it was. It's another one of those cases where you can lose confidence. And when you lose that confidence, like we've seen with Chaz Green, oh God. Michael, I think he did a happy dance on his channel. Check out Michael Anthony Fitness because I think he's having a Chaz Green is gone party tonight. Because Chaz, wow. Woo. Yeah, Chaz Green. You haven't heard any pops? Good. Well, I had one person that said that it was breaking up. Maybe it's on his end. Yes. You got to understand, man. Forgive me. I'm going to forget things. I got Joe Boo's refill. I think I got the sound right. I got the chat going over on Vimeo. So Vimeo and the YouTube going the same time. I got that we're 7 days, 19 hours, 9 minutes, and 35 seconds from kickoff. Just forgot to get open. Boy, okay. I'm getting better. So by the time we get to Sunday, I'll be good to go. So that's definitely a cost-saving move. You can kind of understand that one. Let's hope it doesn't come back to bite us in the ass. Chaz Green, I'm just wondering what took it so long. Chaz Green, my God. Well, hello from Brownsville, Texas. I'm a name butcher. I'm gonna butcher your name if I try and say it. I got Al Kirk. I got Julian's Fun-Filled Adventures. Do I think Bo will make the practice squad? They're going to try and bring Bo back. And see, that's where we started. Actually, the Cowboys have gotten away from what they normally do. The Cowboys like to hold on to guys they drafted. Yeah, we'll get to Rico getting arrested in a little bit. The fact that they cut Bo, and they're hoping that they can bring him back on the practice squad, although I'm trying to think, some team just lost their running back, so it's possible somebody might try and grab him on waivers. Some of the guys that got cut, they're going to try and bring back. Some of the guys that you're surprised that they let go of were players that they had drafted. Tapper, I'm kind of surprised about because, he played better in the third game The fourth game, he looked a little bit better, and he was a high draft pick for him. So that was one of those ones that you looked at and said, I could see him bringing him back. And my daughter, she's actually coming into town. Yay! Got to be at the airport at 5 a.m., so I got to get up at 3:30. Good Lord. Noah Brown, you're right, will be moved to IR, and Deontay Thompson will be back too, which is another one you're kind of surprised with, and you're hoping that he doesn't get picked up, that he clears waivers. Yeah, 49ers lost McKinnon, so they might be looking for a running back. And it's interesting because the Cowboys, basically on the active roster, kind of keeping it thin at running back. Definitely keeping it thin. Defensive line, we let go of Kona Ely. We let go of Tapper. We let go. I'm trying to think of the other guy. I'm having a brain fart here. Forgive me. So we've let go. Plenty of talent on there. We're kind of thin on cornerbacks. I believe they're thinking that these guys are going to stay healthy. They've stayed healthy, with the exception of safety, pretty well. And that allowed them to keep 4 tight ends. And when you heard the news today, when my phone started blowing up this morning with Rico got arrested, I was like, at first I was like, wait, hold on. You got to be kidding me. For less than 2 ounces of weed? What's up? D.D. Taylor, man, how you doing in the other chat? Let me see if I can blow this up, that screen up a little bit. There we go. Now I can actually see the chat. Hot dog. Okay. I was like, you got to be kidding me. What are you thinking, Rico? The night before cuts, the night before the Turk, the Grim Reaper comes knocking on the door, knowing that the Cowboys don't really like you. You're going to go out and get busted with weed. But evidently, the talent trumped that mistake. Ernest, I got to tell you, it feels good to be back. In fact, it feels even better because I am digging the changes that we've made in the studio. Using this Mevo camera that I have here and the clarity from Vimeo, being able to simulcast to YouTube and Vimeo or go from Vimeo to Facebook, it's going to increase the reach. So all those people out there that said, we're going to shut you down and, make sure that nobody sees you, you just created a virus that's going to spread even further. So thank everybody there because I couldn't do this without you. There's Joseph, there's Victor, there's Sheila, there's Derek, Earl Thomas. Everybody wants to talk about Earl Thomas. Okay, all right. Earl Thomas, which has been a thorn in my side. I hate to say this because part of the reason why all of the stuff and hate that came towards me was because of Earl Thomas. We all know, so I don't need to go back into why. Seattle right now wants to make a move. It's clear. It's evident. We know Seattle wants to make a move. When they say, oh, no, we're not trading. We're keeping. He ain't showing up. He's already lost millions of dollars by not showing up for OTAs, for minicamp, for training camp, and he's not going to show up until the 29th of October. And when he shows up, he's not going to be putting out much of an effort. I can guarantee you that. He's going to do just enough to make sure that he can get out of Dodge. Oh, yeah, Matt. That's exactly what I said to Michael this morning. I said, oh, damn, we're going after the truck. I said, I can hear Stephen A. Smith. Oh, the Dallas Cowboys. What can go wrong will go wrong because they can't stay off the weed. I can hear it now. But that is what it is. So he's now on the watch list. And I guarantee you, the Cowboys are going to be watching real hard. That's where you got to question, Rico, what were you thinking, man? Seriously. After all that Randy Gregory's gone through to get back out on the field, you know the league is always itching. They are itching to do something to the Cowboys. They could say, you know what? There's weed around Randy Gregory. Maybe we need to suspend him. They got in the locker room. Look, that guy right there by the facility. Well, Chris, it was partially about releasing him was about money, and partially about he's not automatic anymore. If you're automatic, you can pay him Dan Bailey money. But if you're thinking he's going to miss some, well, we can pay somebody less money to miss some. And that was the bottom line on it. So it kind of is what it is. Now, some of the other cuts, you look around on the team, it's mainly because the team actually has a lot more talent than they've had in past years. They have depth at defensive line. Jahide Ward, last year or the year before, could have been a starter on the defense. Now he can't even make the team. He can't even get on the roster. Suburb cops need to generate revenue. Well, what was interesting for me was when I knew he was going to be back on the team was when his attorney came out and thanked the Fresno police for being, so professional and everything, and thanked the community and everything else. To me, that was already, he knew he's not getting cut. And maybe it is. Maybe, just maybe, the Cowboys do have a plan for Rico. I got to tell you, actually, let's go ahead and take this clip. This is one of the cool things that we're going to be able to do with the channel too. Let's go to NFL Network here. See if it's still up. And take a listen to them. Oh no, did it go up? There we go. And take a listen to them with a little preview about Carolina, because that's what we have to start facing now.
Cowboys, Panthers is going to be huge. Expectations, TD, I know you're going to be looking at Zeke Elliott.
Man, I don't even know. I mean, you listen, you're talking about your center is out.
Yeah,
you have
true.
one of your tackles are not, or guards is not feeling real well right now. I mean, you don't have your all-pro tight end that you lost last year. Your wide receiver, I mean,
Sound like built-in excuses.
it might be.
And you're playing a good defense.
And here's the deal, too. I didn't see this team. I wanted to see them in the preseason. I wanted to see them line up and give us some type of idea of what they're going to look like. Steve, they didn't show us anything this preseason.
Well, Dallas didn't show you anything, but they weren't the only team that didn't show.
But I thought Dallas needed to show us something, right?
It's the preseason, but I'm with you on their offensive line struggles against a very good defense. Look, the defense is the bread and the butter for the Carolina Panthers. But here's where Dallas, I think, is going to surprise some teams defensively. We know DeMarcus Lawrence is a monster on one end. Randy Gregory came into the preseason. He showed something. He came in and he caught everyone's attention. Like, as a pass rusher, this guy can be disruptive. I do think that those edge rushers for Dallas are going to help out that young secondary. They've got some changes there. Chris Richard coaching that secondary. They're going to give Carolina's passing game some issues. But Christian McCaffrey, that's an X factor for Carolina right there. That's a tough cover for those Cowboys defenders.
It is. The defense better carry a whole lot. That offense ain't going to be no much.
Carolina's all about that defense. Last year, number 3 league-wide when it came to stopping the rush. So Zeke Elliott, his hands will be full when they cross.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing that you have to say about the Dallas Cowboys last year. There was nothing new. Everything that they did was basically the thing they did the year before. I've said this over and over and over again, not just about football, but in life. When you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Cowboys went into last year saying, you know what? We're good. Best offensive line in football. They believed the hype on that. We got Zeke Elliott. Dude ran for over 1,500 yards as a rookie. Dak, he managed the games real well. You got Dez Bryant, a playmaker on the outside. He came on the second half of the season. Did you see those couple of touchdowns he had against Green Bay? Damn. If we just get a couple more stops, we can beat Green Bay. It's Coke with a little bit of Joe Boo's rum in it. Just a little bit in it. So they figured, it ain't broke. We don't need to fix this. So, yeah, I see Butler's cut. Yeah. It kind of reminds you of, former coach we had. I'll be hired in 5 minutes. It was the longest 5 minutes in history. So when they went into last year, you had the hang-ups with Zeke. Even when Zeke was there, mentally he was already checked out. Doug Free was a little better than you thought he was. Collins had to get used to it, although Collins had a pretty good season. Had some back issues and things, but, missed some time. Your guard situation, you found out how important a guard is. Jonathan Cooper was just cut by the 49ers, just saying. So you had an influx, and then you had Chaz Green. Then, for whatever reason, Dak and Dez didn't hook up because you kept the routes and the offense limited. People studied you in the offseason and said, hey, let's run blitz. Let's get penetration on the offensive line so that way Zeke Elliott doesn't get a running start going up the field. Make him have to make a move in the backfield. He's not as effective. And then when you started doing that, you could start double covering Cole Beasley. See, teams played against what you were planning on doing because you didn't change anything. Now, you look at this team right now, they didn't show jack this offseason. I mean, they didn't show jack. They never even had Zeke on the field. You only had Dak Prescott play 4 series. You never once had the whole offense on the field together. So when you're right now Carolina, you're Carolina and you're kind of going, damn, we know they're going to run Zeke. Who's the guy we got to stop in the passing game? Is it Michael Gallup? We've seen a little of him trying to go deep. You saw a few flashes of Cole Beasley being able to get around, but damn. What are they going to do? What kind of routes are they going to run? That may actually give you an advantage for the first couple of weeks because people don't know how to defend you or what you're going to do. And that, my friends, was a problem last year. I could sit here in my living room with E2 Blue and John and stuff in here and watch the game, and we could say, that's going to be a run to the left. It's going to be pass deep to Dez, a jump ball. And if I can call it from my living room, people who studied it all offseason could. I think DeMarcus Lawrence is going to have more than 12 sacks. He's going to have more than 12 because it's not just him. Because here's the thing. If Randy Gregory is as good as he's shown thus far, if Taco is able to go ahead and, between the two of them, if they get 6 or 7 sacks each, they're going to be drawing just as much attention as DeMarcus Lawrence. And that's going to help free him up. He's not going to be double-teamed quite as much. And with that speed and with him looking at that $141 million that Khalil Mack just got, $23 million a year, he going to do more than 12 sacks. He's thinking, okay, every extra sack over 12 will probably be at least another $5 million a piece. Let me see if I can hit 16 or 18. Oh, hell. Let's go for 20. He's going to be, look, he's going to be trying to kill people out there. I know I would. Mark Holmes, are you a troll? Do they have a troll like you? Ha ha, me. Ha ha, me. Mark Holmes, are you a troll? Do they have a troll like I don't understand that. Understand, let me go ahead and give out some rules. We got Miss Jackie, and don't start up Miss Jackie. Miss Jackie will put a foot in your behind in a minute. And we got Cam, Cam. And if Sandman ever gets back in here, we're going to put him in here, and he's going to become part of the law. We are not going to go through with the hate and stuff against other people. You can talk trash about teams. You can say my Cowboys stink and things like that. Stuff that's in good-natured fun. But we're not going to do any crazy stuff. We're not going to be trolling and doing things like that. That's not what this channel is. We're getting back to the roots of talking about football. Well, there are so many, Chuck Baby, unknown factors. But see, here's what you got to feel good about. The defense is going to be the best defense we've had in a long time. God willing that everybody stays healthy. You've got some depth finally at linebacker if Sean Lee goes down. You've got a pass rush. A pass rush that better get 40 or more sacks. You've got some cornerbacks. You've got questions on safety, and I see a lot of people that keep saying Earl Thomas and Earl. Oh my God, I just don't want to. Don't want to talk about Earl. Don't want to talk about Earl. Earl has been painful for me. But here's what Seattle's doing, because Seattle is like, damn, we want to get this done. The season's here. We want to get this thing done. We're not going to have him on the field. He's not going to, or if he shows up, he's going to be a distraction. Our team is rebuilding. We need the picks. Let's try and talk this thing up as much as possible. That's why they came back today of, we're not trading him. How many times we heard that from them guys? We heard that they were going to do a new contract, or or at least we heard that from Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport. Oh, they're going to be redoing a deal and stuff for him, and he's going to be staying. They're not going to trade. Yeah, okay. But here it is. They've said we just haven't gotten an offer higher than a third round to make a move with them. Huh. That's not true, because the Cowboys had a second round offer to them at the draft. So it's actually a little rum and Coke. Very little rum. I stole some of Jobu's rum, so hopefully he won't, throw some bad luck my way. They're still trying to maximize what they can get out of him, and I can understand that, but, the Cowboys have been playing hardball just as hard as they have. For them to say we've got because this is where I think it was bull. We've got multiple teams that are making offers. Okay. We know you're directing at the Cowboys, basically saying it's time to poop or get off the toilet. That's what they were trying to do. And that's where they turn around and say, you don't go from yesterday saying we just haven't gotten a good enough offer to today now saying, we're not going to trade him. You're trying to get the Cowboys to bite. You're trying to get them to elevate their offer. You're trying to get them to pull a Chicago Bears, Raiders type move. ED671, you are like Michael. That's what Michael said. Michael doesn't want to play against him. Excuse me, Michael doesn't. Seattle doesn't want to play against Earl Thomas. It'll be after week 3. Which does kind of make sense, because he does know everything about Seattle since he's had his whole career there. He could definitely be an agent, kind of like Ron Leary was for Denver. Jason Garrett, here's the playbook. Here you go. I can tell you every tendency that Russell Wilson has. Well, true. Christian's right. Can't. Okay. All right. See, that's kids are smart ass. Shut up, man. Just shut up. Damn. Over here messing up my mojo. Smart ass kid. I ought to pop you one. I brought you in this world, son. I'll take you out. Javier, how you doing over there on the Vimo chat, man? I am living the dream here with my people, because next week we'll be talking about getting ready for a game. The only bad thing for me is I actually won't be here next week. I'll be actually in South Carolina. So I won't be out doing the pulled pork and everything else. So it's going to be a little bit funny, but I can guarantee you we're going to have some chicken wings. But the Earl Thomas situation, Seattle wants to get it done. I think they're getting desperate, and that's why you're seeing them go from one side of the fence to the complete other opposite side. We'll see what happens, see if anything happens. The Cowboys, of course, have said, we're looking at the waiver wires for offensive line help and safety help. Well, I'm telling you, if you ended up getting Earl Thomas, I believe that it would end up being the difference of being good on defense to being exceptional, without a doubt. Let me just change this up. Sorry, looking at Khalil Mack here. 141 million. How you get 90 million guaranteed? We're missing that on the team. Well, see, and that's where you got Sean Lee is a quiet leader. Sean Lee leads by example. DeMarcus Lawrence, he leads by going out there and sacking. But you don't have that edgy cornerback yet. You don't have that guy that's going to get in people's faces. Oh, Chris Sharp's going to get in your face. But you need that guy out there that's going to be running this stuff, putting foot in that guys behind, a guy who knows the system. Oh, man. ED671, man, you are 100% right with the Charles Haley and Deion Sanders. That's just crazy. I'm not going to be going to the Carolina game because the wife actually scheduled. We got some friends of ours that are recently engaged, and they're going to Hilton Head for a week and everything else, and we're supposed to go with them and, get them together and, do the family thing, vacation and all this, that, and the other. And we were supposed to do this not during the season. So my wife thought the season, when she booked this 6 months ago, started the following week. So, yeah. So, unless I can find a decent price on the tickets right now are about $350. Is the NFL going to suspend Rico? More than likely, I would say not for a first offense. I would say that he is now going to be in the watch system and having to start taking testing. Is what I would say is probably going to happen. I could be wrong. I appreciate Michael. Thank you very much. Sonola, I appreciate the question. Well, Cam, you're 100% right. Seattle definitely doesn't want to extend him, and basically, we're going to use you like a piece of toilet tissue. Play. If you get hurt and can't play anymore, oh well, you're under contract. We're not going to negotiate. We're not going to give you any more money. Thanks for all the memories. Come in here, do the job, and get the F out. Robert Griffin has made the team in Baltimore. You're going to have to trade to get Robert Griffin, if at all. Yeah, Xavier, you know it. Stephen A. Smith is definitely going to be ramping. And Jackie, with you 100%, he is definitely stupid on that one. North Carolina's biggest Cowboys fan. Hey, Jacob, thank you. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you enjoy the show. I try to do, I'm old, I'm technology challenged, so I end up messing things up a lot of times because I am new with all this stuff. I'm actually proud of myself for finally getting this stuff together. Next thing, I've got to actually tackle the broadcast software. If I can get that down, then you guys are really going to see some crazy stuff for the season. How do I feel about Dan Bailey? At first, I was like, what the hell? But then after thinking about it, it's kind of like, well, here's the newfound Dallas Cowboys. Their new motto is, we're not going to spend too much money. We are going to be frugal. We're going to have homegrown talent. And they have done really good about not paying exorbitant amounts on free agents. They kind of learned the hard way. Is Michael Eddie Fitness going to be around for the game? He can take my place for Sunday. Did you hear that, Mike? He's got headphones on over there. I'll check with him and see if he wants to do that. That's a really good idea. So the Cowboys aren't going to pay too much for anybody. That's why they took DeMarcus Lawrence and said, we're going to go ahead and say, prove it. We'll franchise tag you now, and we'll see what you do. And they looked at it and said, well, Dan, you're not Mr. Automatic anymore. Yeah, you've had some great years and all that stuff, but you're kind of expensive. We can let you go. You got a guy here for $500,000. That's $3 more million in the kitty. And that's kind of like what New England does. Take a look at New England. New England is forever letting guys go, and you're just like, what are they thinking? I mean, they let Jimmy Garoppolo go with Tom Brady and 40 years old. Who does that? New England. They take guys that have made the Pro Bowl the last year and trade them to get more draft picks. And they're never in cap hell. But see, they do stuff that we don't do. See, if they had a Rico Gathers, I can guarantee you they would come up with a few plays. It may only be 4 or 5 plays. But they would find a few plays that would give them an advantage on another team. Oh, man, don't get me started on the backup quarter. Let's just face reality right now, guys. Let's just face reality and understand if Dak goes down, as much as a lot of people say he's a bum, you want to see a bum, look at Pooper Rush. That was pathetic what he did in preseason. I know they didn't block great, but even when he did get blocking, he still didn't do much. Let's just face the fact that if Dak goes down, that the season's going to be over if it's for any length of time. Just get that in your head because, I'm sorry, Mike White, both of them made the roster. He ain't ready for prime time. Cooper Rush, I'll be honest, I think Mike White should be ahead of Cooper Rush. And even if you go out there, there's not good quarterback. You're not going to just find a starting quarterback or a guy that's going to play that well. That's why Brandon Whedon still has a job in Texas with the Texans. Because there's not quarterbacks. There's only a very few guys out there that can do that. So yeah, you can go ahead and make a move. I mean, the funny thing is Connor Cook, he got cut. Paxton Lynch, he should be cut. These are guys that people said were better than Dak Prescott. 1999 Rome. What year did I become a Dallas Cowboy fan? Okay, let me zoom in on here right now. Okay? I became a Dallas Cowboy fan basically at birth. True, I was not born in Dallas. I was actually born in Washington, D.C. because the year I was born, 1965, the only black hospital was the Freeman Hospital in Washington, D.C. So we had to go from Fairfax County to Washington, D.C. for me to be born. Hence, a lot of people say you should be a Washington Redskin fan. But no. My father was a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan for 2 reasons. 1, Bob Bullet Hayes, he loved him. 2, the Washington Redskins were the last team to integrate. The NFL started integrating in 1949. In the early 60s, the Redskins were still an all-white team. My dad going through integration, going to the black-only school, being called the N-word on a regular basis, and me going through the same thing, not integrated until 1970. I wanted to be like my dad. So when I was born in 1965, I was sitting on the couch with my dad. My first memories of life were hearing my dad say, "Go Cowboys, go Cowboys." And I think the first words I said were, "Go Cowboys," because I wanted to be like my dad, sitting next to him. And that's the reason why my son, I believe, is a Cowboy fan, because he wanted to be like me. So by birth, 1965, some of the early games I can remember when we lost to the Colts and how dejected my dad was in the Super Bowl. I can remember when we beat the Miami Dolphins. I have a button over there in the cabinet from it. In fact, you'll notice I have this clock right here, which is still ticking. It's an AM FM radio from my dad that still works, still will play. It's really staticky, but I've been a diehard fan. I can So earliest memories I can remember of the Colts Super Bowl, but from birth. So hopefully that answers your question. I know a lot of people say that I'm a bandwagon fan, and there was no bandwagon when I started watching football. There was no bandwagon because the Cowboys were known back in the 60s as the great regular season team, but they can't win the big one because not only did we lose to the Ice Bowl with Green Bay, we also lost 2 other championship games to Green Bay. And then, of course, you lose to the Colts in the Super Bowl. You were the laughingstock. And then you had this quarterback, Roger Staubach, who sat out for 5 years in the Naval Academy. You had Craig Morton, the statesman, the guy who took you to a Super Bowl, and you're going to start this guy? There was no bandwagon when I was watching them. Since 88. That's 88. That was a rough year. If you were a Cowboys fan starting in 88, you were a real fan because there was no bandwagon at 88. That was just ugly. Neil, it's okay, man. It's okay. You know, players come and go, man. It's okay. Dan will be all right. Somebody will pick him up. Don't have time for wrestling. In fact, basically, I am banned from any other sports if I want to stay married because I devote so much time to football and the Dallas Cowboys. How does it feel to watch the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl? My God, it's been so long. It's a great feeling, especially when you want them back to back. Oh, Brian, yeah, I almost forgot about talking about that. Yeah, we'll get to that one in a minute. About Nick Foles. I didn't say Foles, I said Fold. I got to tell you, it's been so long. We need to get another one. I just want to be at a Super Bowl and see the Cowboys win one. Can you just imagine how many Cowboy fans, how big that would be, how much freaking money the NFL would make if the Cowboys were at the Super Bowl? Oh. So Brian from SoCal, my favorite meme creator, reminded me that Nick Foles is going to be starting Thursday night. I said a while ago, Carson Wentz isn't going to be ready to start the season. Eagle fans said, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. He's going to be good to go. And I said, you know, when he does start playing, he's going to be wearing a knee brace. You don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot. But here it is. Thursday night. Guys. Thursday night. It's Saturday night. Nick Foles is going to be playing. I hate Atlanta. Mainly because of Brethren, the troll that comes in here. But Nick Foles, and I know it was only preseason, Nick Foles gets streaky. He was on a great streak going through the Super Bowl. He had a great streak one year for the Eagles, and then after that, it was just, ooh. He was a journeyman after that. He may be looking back. You may be looking back at him going back to the streak of bad. And the Eagles have a lot of questions. You know, when I kept telling the Eagles, I said, listen, it's hard to repeat. It's hard to stay on top. Teams from the NFC East, on average since 2004, have dropped 3.4 games the next year. You're just a hater. You said the Cowboys were going to win. I said, no, I thought the Cowboys were going to go 10-6. I didn't say they were going to win. I said I thought they were going to go 10-6. They were a couple plays away from 10-6. I wasn't too far off. Eagles 0-1. I think you're right over there, Detailer. I really and honestly think the Eagles are going to have some problems. They're going to have the Super Bowl hangover. They're going to have that shortened off season. They're going to have the secret being out, and people are going to be giving you your best game because they know you're the Super Bowl champs. If we can beat you, that makes us look pretty good. The Raiders trolls have disappeared. Yeah, now that John Gruden has been disassembling that team. The Raiders fans got to be starting to scratch their head and saying, we gave him a 10-year deal for $100 million? What dumbass team will pick up Chaz Green? Ooh. Now let's be kind to the poor man. Don't kick the man while he's down. Alex, I don't know that the Eagles are going to start out 0-5, but you have to wonder. And you look at the Giants' schedule starting out. The Giants have a gauntlet they have to go through. Not that I'm saying that ours is easy, but the Giants, that's a killer schedule. The Giants may be having their golf clubs in their trunks by week 8. There you go. Chaz is gone. Let poor Chaz go. Let him go. Do I think they sold? Well, they spent a whole lot of cash to sign him, but in reality, in comparison to what they gave up, they didn't really give up as much as the Raiders did to get rid of him. Oh, okay. EB, you're actually right. Actually, I did not hear that it was Ian Rappaport that did that, so you're right. Who knows? Hell, it might be Randall Cunningham starting then if that's the case. Do I trust Ian Rappaport? He doesn't get everything wrong, and I would think that one is kind of a bigger one that, well, okay. We'll see on that one, but I did not know it was Ian Rappaport. Michael brought it up, and a couple people in here brought it up, and I remember seeing something when I was getting ready for the chat. But I tend to believe that one. Why keep White? Younger, a year younger. He actually played better than Cooper Rush. Rejoicing, it's like the Red Sea parting. Oh, come on, man. Leave Chaz Green alone, guys. Come on, man. It's not fair to kick him when he's down.
You know, he might find another team that actually play good.
I mean, Eric Flowers still has a job.
Chaz Green, it may have just been a situation he was in, and he's lost his confidence after the rain again.
Do I think the Cowboys will be willing to give up on Earl? Or what? Who do I think?
They're not giving up on Earl. They're just waiting for the right opportunity.
I think a number two, or a 3 and a 5. Would you do it for a 3 and a 5? At some point, I think Earl Thomas will be a Cowboy. That's still my gut feeling. I know some people say I'm delusional. I'm an idiot. Stop the madness. You know, you're putting out false stuff. But in my gut, I believe. Okay, so thank you very much, War710 over here on Vimeo. He said the Eagles have officially confirmed that Nick Fold will start on Thursday. Eagles will win easy. Okay. I didn't put that they'll win easy part. That's what the comment is over here. Thank everybody who is watching on Vimeo. This is still kind of new situation. We actually just got Vimeo last Sunday morning, thanks to the support of you guys, everybody who went to my GoFundMe and things. We were able to pay for the service for a year, and from now on, all of our material will actually be stored at Vimeo. We'll be able to do more production quality work, and we're going to be stepping this up to a whole nother level. And from there, we're able to share to Facebook, to Instagram, Facebook, to, of course, YouTube, as well as to Twitter. So it's actually going to expand the reach. So thank everybody who's been out there helping me. And man, I've been here almost for an hour, and there's so many of you guys in here. I don't want to leave. Damn. You can see the boys starting out 4-0, and I'm not delusional. That would be interesting to see them start out 4-0. But that's one of those things that you have to, if they were to start out 4-0, you'd have to worry about, are they peaking too soon? We've seen teams that have come out gangbusters the first month of the season, and then by December, they kind of tail off. I'm not saying that would be a bad thing, but you got to make sure that, hopefully, that you're not peaking too soon. Colin, thank you for joining in. How do I feel about Dan Bailey? Dan Bailey, at first I was truly shocked about it because it was kind of like out of left field. I don't know that anybody saw that coming. But then the more you started thinking about it, you started thinking about the misses he had in camp. You started thinking about when he came back. And it was one of those situations where he had kind of lost his mojo. I'm glad you like the Vimeo platform. Mira Bira, Forgive me, I butchered that name up. I'm sorry, I suck with names and phonetically speaking them out. But thank you. I actually really enjoy the clarity, the sound quality, and things like that. And it's going to be good in the long run. You know, sometimes things happen to you when you're in the middle of them. You're thinking, woe is me, but you don't realize when you're in the middle of it that maybe it's actually something better that's coming around. Jeff Heath is good, but not a great safety. Well, I got to tell you, from what he's shown this offseason, excuse me, this training camp, is I did say it right. Oh my God, I wish I had a bell to ring. I finally got a name right, a really hard one. Yay! But what he has done under Chris Richard, and I got to tell you, I think Jason Garrett. Looking at Jason Garrett on the sideline, he looks totally different than he. Have you noticed Jason Garrett has not smiled at all this offseason during the games? In preseason, I should say, not offseason. In preseason, take a good look at him on the sidelines. He doesn't look like the usual Little League coach. Way to go, Johnny. We'll get him next time. He looks like really intense. And I wonder if he's feeling a little pressure because when you look at Chris Richard, I know he's not the head coach. He's the new guy. But you know when they hire somebody new, somebody that's younger, brighter, more energy, and you start kind of feeling like, okay. You see him on the sidelines when the players mess up, giving them hell, motivating them, and then turning around and then doing something. It's your Jason Garrett, you kind of say, you know, is he a threat? Do I need to feel a little uncomfortable here? Do I need to worry that he might take my job? So yeah, he looks a little more intense. Sonola, thank you very much. Yeah, people are going to get sick of me. You say that now, that you're happy that I'm on all the platforms and everyone has access to me. But after a while, people are going to be like, kill that guy. I'm sick and tired of Mark Holmes and that damn voodoo doll. But thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, he's definitely, Jason Garrett to me looks, and maybe it's going to be a good thing. Because maybe he should feel some pressure. Because the thing of Jerry Jones, how can you come out and say, oh, your job's not in jeopardy? Oh, hell no. I know when I go to work for somebody, if I don't do the job, my job's in jeopardy. I don't care how long I've been working for them. If the player's job's in jeopardy, if they don't perform, why shouldn't the coach be? Why should he feel, oh, I ain't got nothing to worry about? No, make that fool feel uncomfortable. Make him worry that, damn, am I going to sell this house and move elsewhere? Make him feel uncomfortable. Let him know you are coaching and playing for your job. Your players are. Dan Bailey got cut. Forget about all the great things he did in the past. Right now they look and say, you know what, you're not quite doing the job. Bye. Why should it be any different for the coach? Anybody have an answer for that one? Well, and here's the thing. Now, before you could look around and say, okay, yeah, well, he's got that contract. Jerry Jones doesn't want to pay him to sit on the sidelines, you know, watching football. But he's got this year and next year on that contract. So that makes this a contract year. You never have a coach go into the final year of their contract being a lame duck. You have to at least extend them for another year. So are you going to throw more money after him? How do I feel about Anthony Brown? Anthony Brown's kind of lost a little bit of that confidence that he had. I hope he gets it back. I'm not ready to give up on him yet. And you know what? I tell you what. Here's the thing with Chris Richard. Chris Richard, if the Cowboys don't do something with him, and let's say hypothetically, the Dallas Cowboys are a top 5 defense. Let's just say that they are. You going to tell me that there's not going to be other teams out there that are going to be looking and saying, wait a minute, this guy, when he was in Seattle, had 3 of the years the number 1 scoring defense. Another one, he was 4th, 7th, and even last year, losing Richard Sherman, losing Sheldon Richardson, losing Cam Chancellor, and losing Cliff Averill, was still 13th in point scoring defense. And if he goes to the Cowboys and the Cowboys have a top 5 defense, you don't think that teams are going to be breaking down the door to hire him as a head coach? You could be losing him. I say the same thing about Will McClay. Take a look at all the homegrown talent. This is a free agent team here. This is a team that has drafted well and found guys, undrafted free agents or low budget free agents, and built this team out of. And right now, they're one of the youngest teams in the NFL with a lot of talent. I can't believe that he hasn't already been snacked up. Shout out to everybody who has joined in. Somewhere down the line, I believe Chris Richard will be a head coach. Sonola, you are 110% right. Well, here, I tell you what, it helps, James. And I'm going to dare say, I'm going to go out on a limb. And James, I'm going to say, here's what the Cowboys do. They don't necessarily name you what your real position is. I look at Will McClay and I say he's really the de facto GM. Jerry Jones is in it by name only. But it's him, that's down there doing the dirty work. I don't know what kind of deal they ended up making for him to stay, because believe me, the Texans wanted him to be their GM. And there's other teams that are going to be wanting him to be there. They must be just backing up a Brinks truck or just saying, look, you're the GM, we're just going to call it for Jerry to keep him happy. And then the same thing with Chris Richard. I know what I saw when I was there at training camp is Chris Richard was working with everybody. I saw Rod Martinelli basically working with the defensive line. When I saw that defense messing up, I saw Chris Richard lighting into everybody. Did you see Rod Martinelli out there doing any of that? So, yes, I have a Patreon account as well. I wish we could get a new owner. Okay, good luck with that one. What about my Patreon account? I still have my Patreon account, and I'm actually going to start doing some stuff special for all the people who have actually joined that. The problem is I'm still learning all this. We've got all the stuff that's going on with the Dallas Cowboys, and of course the change up from my other channel to this channel and things. But yes, I do have a Patreon account. That's Cowboys Jobu. And if you guys want to be part of that, I appreciate all the support that I've been given from everybody. And it helps to support the channel for us to do the trips and things that we do, the tailgating, as well as upgrading the channel. So thank you very much, Corey Chitchen. Well, here's the thing, Colin. Going live, you can't go live Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So you have to pick your poison. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start doing some stuff specifically for Facebook and doing some stuff for YouTube. But since I just got back onto YouTube yesterday, I've got to go ahead and do some stuff on there. But what I'm also doing, though, is the live streams will be basically either Facebook or YouTube. All the other content I'm sharing on all platforms. So the best thing I can tell you is go to my website and basically subscribe to that, cowboyjobu.com, because that's got the feed for Twitter. It's got the feed for YouTube. I share the videos and everything on there, so you can kind of find everything there. So we're just trying to get all over the place. We're just trying to be kind of like the plague and spread. You're still waiting on the EDP debate. Well, you know what? That might be interesting. Let's let them lose a couple of games and then get them on here, so that way we can see them crying. Well, Colin, I'm glad that you enjoy that. I'm optimistic about the Cowboys. See, I'm a guy that looks at this glass and says it's more than half full right now. But now it's half full. So I'm going to try and find the positive side to everything. But thank you. Um, where is this cursor? Um, it's kind of funny because, guys, you have no idea what I've got two screens with two different feeds that are going on, and I've got this right over here, which is actually a smartphone that controls the camera right there. And so I'm kind of going from side to side and trying to look at the camera at the same time. So it's fun and it's interesting. I would actually like to put a couple of you guys behind here. How often do I stream? I stream normally every Monday and Friday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern. And then I also stream during the game, so that way you can see my reactions and stuff of what's going on in the games. I'm doing tonight's because we had the cut down, so there's a lot of news on the team, and we're getting ready for the season. So we're kind of getting an overload, but we'll be live streaming again at Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern. You get no argument on that one as far as adding Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas would be, oh, God, that would be amazing. Thomas Chavez needs to grow up. Well, that's Miss Jackie, Cam. You need to put him in timeout. I'm going to have some of you guys over to the man cave. Like I said, it's still a work in progress, and I can't wait to have people over for the games because I can have people sitting at the bar, or you can be sitting on the couch, or you can be actually sitting outside on the deck. So it's going to be fun. Constantine, that's what. Okay, if you'd asked me this morning if I thought Khalil Mack would be in Chicago, I would have given you what? Anything can happen. I think Seattle really wants to make a move, and they're trying to get somebody to bite. Tune in later on this week. I'll give you my spread for the game. You took a break from studying subnetting for the CCNA for this? Well, Brian, you can always go back. I'm sorry. Sorry you're not enjoying it. Joe Woo's got his refill right here. He's good to go. Well, Chris, actually, we were actually 8th last year in yardage given up on defense. So I feel that we could be a top 5 even without Earl Thomas. I think with Earl Thomas, the sky's the limit. If a Super Bowl was guaranteed, you can't get a guarantee. Would I trade a first and a second? I don't know about that. A second is fair. A second, not a first and a second. That's just way too much. Well, Robert, here's the thing with Rico. Talent trumps all. And he's not the first player who's been caught with some weed. It's just the Cowboy player is the one everybody talks about. Matt, you're actually dead on what I said for the Cowboys. I think 11-5 is realistic. Mark, don't worry about our team, man. We're going to be okay. We're going to have something that we haven't had in a long time, and that's going to be a great defense. And we have a lot of playmakers that believe it. Forget about what the talking heads tell you. We're going to have a lot of playmakers, not huge playmakers. It's going to be like death by 1,000 cuts. The Cowboys are going to be hitting you from so many different directions that defenses aren't going to know which guy to stop. Nobody's going to have, you're going to have tons of 1,000-yard guys. You're going to have a lot of guys that are 600, 700, 800 yards. But it's going to be spread around, and Zeke Elliott is going to be beasting. NFC East standings? Oh, God. Okay. I'm going to get trolled if I say them now, but I think the Cowboys can win the division. I think the Eagles are second. I think the Giants are third, and I think the Redskins will be in the basement. And I'm sure somebody will take that clip, because there's an Eagle guy out there that's taking clips of things I said last year, and he's throwing them back out there. But that's what I think. Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, Redskins. What about David Irving? David Irving is beginning to work out. thinking about football. He's been out there boxing and everything else. Hopefully, he's staying off the weed, and we'll see when he comes back. The bad thing is he's had no off season, no OTAs, no mini camps, no training camp. Basically, he's going to be coming in cold. Sorry, you meant the Eagles 11-5. Okay. All right. I think the Eagles are going to be coming back down to earth. I think the Eagles are going to be 9-7, but don't quote me. Dallas 11-5, Eagles 10-6, Giants 9-7, Skins 7-9. I'll take that. Why is Vimeo way clearer than YouTube? Let me ask you, how's it coming across on YouTube? Is it coming across clearer than when I normally do it? Because Vimeo is not really like YouTube. Vimeo is not monetized. Vimeo is not that kind of a platform. What Vimeo really is a production type company. And they do more movies, like if you're a small filmmaker and you're trying to get your big break, and things like that. They have the platform with the videos, the sound, the software, and everything else to do high production stuff. You're not going to see, dude with this crazy cat tricks and stuff like that. You're going to see really detailed, high quality, high resolution stuff. Not normally like what I'm doing. And it's a paid service. You actually have to pay. There's different levels, but I ended up getting the $75 a month plan because then I've got 7 terabytes of space to keep my videos. So if YouTube decides to shut me down, it's okay because I've got all my stuff locked away and I own it, and I'm able to do so much more with this system. I'm actually looking at doing kind of like you would see like an ESPN type show. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that, Shanola, that it is clear because, this is truly a step up. And the same thing I said about the Cowboys, that they kind of sat around like, we don't need to change anything. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But what I realized is in life, once you kind of say, okay, we're good, we're the big guy on the block, and you just kick back and say, hey, we're Barnes & Noble, we're a huge bookstore, there's nothing that's going to stop us. Or if you're MySpace, man, we're the #1 social platform. Guess what? Facebook figured out how to do it better. Facebook figured out how to take it to the next level. And you guys may like me right now, but after a while you kind of get bored. So you've got to be looking for the next evolution. No, well, actually, Frankie O, we're actually on Vimeo right now, as well as YouTube simulcasting. So, no, I actually had multiple channels. So we're actually using my other channel, which is my cooking channel / football talk. Colin, I have to agree with you about Facebook because Facebook, once your grandma got on there, kids got away from it. So yeah, Facebook is slowly kind of coming back. They're trying to evolve. They're trying to change. They're trying to still be there, but with the information getting out there of people's stuff, with the old people like me, I don't hardly use Facebook that much anymore, and I'm old. So, and even with YouTube is, they're the standard. But Amazon Prime is looking at doing their own platform. There's other companies that are saying, you know what, we can do this too. So, yeah, nothing is forever. So you've got to be realizing what the next thing is. So that's why you see, let's go ahead and expand it here a little more. That's why you see my studio here. We got the television screen. We're going to have the other software so we can run clips and things in there. We can edit, we can cut, we can cross post, we can do all kinds of things. We can have another guest sitting right here. We can Skype in a guest. We can do multiple people. And I'm actually thinking about adding a third locker over here on this side. So that way I can sit in the middle. I can have 2 guys basically fighting it out, and I can play referee. So if you're not thinking about what's next, you're going to be left behind. Why do the Cowboys carry 4 tight ends and only 4 corners? That is a really good question because I think they're not sold on any of the tight ends. That they're looking at tight end by committee or hoping that somebody will kind of come on as the season goes on. I think they feel good about the corners and think that they're going to stay healthy. So that's a very good question, Mr. Mark. Oh, Colin, don't worry. I mean, here's the thing. I get a lot of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I try and get to the questions as much as possible. I don't always get them because sometimes I'm busy working and things like that, and I forget. And sometimes I just have a hard time pulling them up on Instagram. So, no, don't apologize for asking me questions and things. I did the best I can to try and answer them all. Yeah, you're right. But I think our kicker hit a 58-yarder. Brian Waller, I like that. Breaking news: Ian Rappaport suspended for breaking inaccurate news. I love that. Barkley will be injured by week 5. Well, he's already been injured in training camp. Rico's going to be a star. I think if they figure out how to use him, he definitely can be a star. No, great. Well, if he's not going to, he's going to be put in the program. That's not how the NFL situation works. Unless he has failed drug tests before, then he'd get a 4-game suspension. But for your first offense, you don't get suspended. Well, Jason Lockefour it's just, I mean, you're really interchangeable with Ian Rappaport as well as Adam Schefter too, because they are always starting some stuff. What's the thoughts on Khalil Mack trade? Oh, I wish that John Gruden was making the Earl Thomas trade because they gave up too much to get rid of Khalil Mack, and the amount of money that Khalil Mack made. Oh my God, that just made DeMarcus Lawrence get another 2 sacks. Because he is going to be licking his chops saying, Khalil Mack had a down year and was injured last year and got that kind of money? I had 14 sacks last year. Let me get 16 sacks and let them back up not 1, not 2, not 3, maybe 4 Brinks trucks for me. So, yeah, that's just amazing. I mean, that's quarterback money. What I think about Skip? Skip Bayless he's a guy that throws gasoline on a fire. Skip Bayless does a lot of talking just to try and stir shit up. I hate to say it, if there's anybody that's a bandwagon fan, I'd say it's Skip Bayless. But that's just me. Can't find my stream on Vimeo? Really? Okay, hold it. I tell you, well, wait a minute. Let me see if I can do this here. On Vimeo, copy, let's see. This is actually the stream right there on Vimeo. God, oh my God, I love this. Guys, you don't know that I suck with computers. I really and truly do. So the fact that we're able to actually get this one working, that the sound quality is there, is wow. For everybody who's watching YouTube, let me put the link. This is the link for Vimeo. What will happen on Vimeo is I will always upload my videos first to Vimeo. That way I've got a hard copy with it. And if it's live streamed, they're live streamed simultaneously to either Facebook or to YouTube. But what happens is, like, I this morning actually did the Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboy report, and I did it live to both platforms. But what happens is it takes a while for YouTube to upload the stream. They basically have to go through and process it, and it may take an hour or more. So I may only do the Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys live on Vimeo in the morning, and then share the feed, because it'll be quicker, to YouTube, so it won't be live on YouTube. So I'm learning a lot of little nuances with this as I go. Okay, I just put my link right there for Vimeo. in. Let me put it in again. And it's funny because when the way I'm using Vimeo is not the typical way that it gets used, because most people will do a movie or a broadcast or something like that, and it might be one a month or it might be one a week or something. So when I started uploading a couple videos a day, they were like, "Oh, what are you doing? You're spamming." And because we had started getting so many subscribers so quickly, they thought I was actually buying likes, and it's like, no, it's my YouTube following that's following me over there. McKinnon, who you want to sign? There aren't any good backup. Who out there is a good backup quarterback that you would feel okay is going to win some games? They don't grow on trees. The reality is, you live and die with Dak Prescott this year. Money-wise, you got the money to sign him. That's not the big deal. Earl Thomas to Dallas tomorrow. You know what? I got to tell you, if it ever happens, look for me. That's all I'm going to say. Look. Somebody wants me to zoom in. Why, you want to see my wrinkles? Okay. We're going to zoom in to me and Jobu. There we go. How's that? Connor, really? Connor Cook? I can't even answer that one. Connor Cook. Well, all right, guys. We've been on for almost an hour and a half talking about our Cowboys. It's been fun. It's been incredible. I am so happy that I was actually able to do this without any hiccups. I'm glad that you guys found me. Like I said, be sure to go ahead. I left the link, and let me put it up here one more time for Vimeo, and be sure to subscribe to me there, because if something happens on Facebook, this is where you'll be able to find everything. And all you guys that are on Vimeo, look for Mark Holmes on YouTube, and you'll be able to catch me on YouTube as well. And of course, I'm on Twitter as Cowboy Joe Boo. I'm on Instagram as Cowboy Joe Boo, and look for my website, cowboyjoeboo.com. Guys, shout out to Mike for that Rico doc. Shout out to you, Mike, for the Rico doc. He said, great work. That's right. Oh, yes. And make sure you guys check out Michael Anthony Fitness, because he literally worked, what, 2 months? 3 months he worked on his documentary on Rico Gathers. He's a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan just like me.
No. I'm a diehard. Well, besides that, I'm a diehard Rico Gathers.
He's a diehard Rico Gathers fan, okay?
That too.
Turn up the damn volume, please. Okay. Sorry, man. Try not to shout too much, okay? Listen. If we get Earl Thomas, you just need to do a video titled "I Told You So," and the video should just me smiling. That's a good one, Maribera. I love that. So anyway, guys, look for me around. It's not going to be hard to find me, because literally you will be tripping over on me. I'm Mark Holmes. Thank you guys for all the support, and I will see you guys soon. That is, if I can figure out how to turn the damn thing off.